Question 7. 5 statements are given about devices. Tick to show if each statement applies to a 3D scanner, barcode reader, or a quick response code reader. Some statements may apply to more than one type of devices. So let us start. Uses position and alignment markers for orientation when scanning. Uses position and alignment markers for orientation when scanning. So this is 3D scanner and QR code scanner. Okay. Barcode just reads the lines. It does not care about the size or the thickness or whatever. Not the thickness per line, but the thickness of the whole code. Whereas 3D scanners, they actually point out what are the X, Y, and Z axes. And this QR code, if you observe a QR code in the lower left column, left corner, top left corner, and top right corner, leaving bottom right corner, all the corners have these little squares which determines the size of the QR code. So that is basically positioning and alignment markers are required. Those are positioning and alignment markers. Scan the shape and appearance of an object. So that is just the 3D scanner. Uses reflected light from a laser to convert black and white patterns into binary. This is barcode reader. Can often be built into an electronic point of sale terminal, for example, supermarket checkouts. These are barcode readers. It is an example of input device. They all are input devices. Okay. Question number 8. An electronic game has 3 square mats that are colored red, green, and blue. The player will see a color displayed on the screen and has 1 second to hit the mat that matches this color. If the player hits the correct mat within 1 second, a counter is incremented. When a player hits an incorrect mat, the game ends. The game uses sensors and a microprocessor to determine if the player hits the correct mat within 1 second. Explain how the game uses sensors and microprocessors to count the number of times player hit a correct mat. Incremented means to add 1 every time. So if you make a 5 and then you increment a, then it will become 6. Then you again increment it becomes 7. Adding 1 every time. So that is actually incrementation. Explain how the game uses sensors and a microprocessor to count the number of times a player hits a correct mat within 1 second. Okay. If it is 1 second, game requires a timer to start. Okay. Then we need a pressure sensor. To record taps. ADC to convert sensor input to digital. Sensors analog input to convert analog input to digital, and sends the digitized data to microprocessor Microprocessor, this is basically monitoring and control question. Microprocessor compares data with stored value, which is a preset value, if data is within acceptable range, which is also called nominal, nothing happens. If if data has come from correct color mat, then if the data is from color mat, then counter is incremented. Checks if the timer is timer has rather stopped before 1 second. As you do remember, if we click and if we click right and if it is before 1 second, then increment happens. Um, so if correct color mat is clicked and before 1 second it is counted, otherwise game stops. Now, this type of questions are always, I would say, guessing questions. So no one can tell you exact answer, but you have to remember that data is being captured by the sensor. Data is in analog form. So sensor captures the data. Data goes through ADC to get converted to digital form. Then it reaches microprocessor. Microprocessor checks against stored value. If the data is within range, which is called what? Nominal, nothing happens and the process goes on. If the data is out of range, then processor has decided something that has to go through from digital to analog converter, and then output arrives through actuators. which are screens, which are things like motors or whatever, valves, switches, maybe on screen something. Should a score not be implemented after checking the time? Abdullah, you can always tweak this question. This question is just to have an idea if you know the monitoring and control process. It is not required to be exactly the same. So if you have properly uh, registered, noted all the steps required in monitoring and control, most probably you will get all marks. Okay. Here you are required to put proper keywords. All right. So keywords are more important. This was 7 marks question though. Padma opens an application on her computer. An interrupt is generated from CPU that the application has been opened. Give 3 other examples when the interrupt signal could be generated. Uh, a keyboard key is pressed. Mouse key clicked. Uh, Printer paper jam. Printer buffer emptied. Printer is ready. Uh, that's it. State what would happen if interrupt signals were not used in a computer. The computer will be kept busy by operating system with just one task like printing, and system will remain non-responsive until whole printing is done. The next point is multitasking will not be possible. Germain uses secure socket layer protocol to secure transmission when sending the data using the internet. Explain how SSL protocols secure the data for transmission. SSL creates an encrypted link between sender and receiver, or you can server and client, whatever suits, you can write that. It authenticates both server and client. It makes use of digital certificates. That's it. Identify an alternative protocol that could be used for secure transmission of data using the internet. That is transport layer security. Or TLS. Give two ways that the user can identify if a website uses secure data transmission. A padlock is shown in browser. URL starts from HTTPS protocol mention. Browser validates server certificate, and if authentication failed, user is informed. You can write first two if you feel third one is a bit complicated. All right. Consider A and B. This is A and B, or not B or C. NAND C. X is equal to. So first we have to make A and B. Then B plus C whole not. Since it is separate not, so we will have to put not separately. And then we have OR. And then and NAND, basically NAND with C. Okay. So what is basically happening? A and B here, B plus C whole not. Why I have put not separate? Why I have not put it in front of OR gate to make it NOR? Because it is a separate not. Okay, and then NAND. That is why I have made it together. So this is NAND gate. All right. Now, AB plus B and C whole not. AB plus B and C whole not. AB. So AB 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1. B plus C whole not. B plus C whole not 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0. Then we need an OR of it that we will call M. 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1. And then this M will be NAND with C. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0. This will be your answer. All ones and then last 0. Because when you will AND M with C, it will be 0. And if you convert it because it is NAND, then it will become 1. That is how it works. Okay. Identify two logic gates that are not included in the given logic statement. Okay, first let's see what are the logic gates that we have. We have AND, NAND, or, nor, exclusive or, and not. So we can see not here, we can see NAND here, we can see AND here, we can see OR here. What two gates are not there? That is basically NOR and exclusive OR. You can write exclusive OR it like XOR. Okay. So that's about it. Another paper. You might feel that these papers are difficult, but if you keep practicing, if you keep recalling, if you keep recollecting the information that I give you when I'm solving this paper, it will become eventually easier. Okay, so that's about it. Thank you very much.